Hello and welcome back to From Debt to Ownership, your financial wake-up call from my money mistakes. My name is Samuel Speaks, and this is my debt-free journey. Welcome back. First and foremost, I have to say Happy New Year. We are in 2026. Can you believe it, guys? It's been a crazy journey. I'm so thankful for every single one of you of being a part of the journey last year. I wish I started my videos earlier, but nonetheless, we are here today. We are rocking. I'm so thankful that you're following me. And listen, if you're new here, make sure you click that like button. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And make sure you just become a part of this community of individuals who just want to get out of debt and then move from debt to ownership, all right? So many good things to tell you about, so many exciting things to go into. There's a few errors that I made as well. Now, most of you were probably looking for a video and figuring out, oh man, where's the December video? And what happened was I said to myself, I'm gonna do December and January videos in one. But in doing so, I actually forgot to take down the numbers for December. So I've had to go back and kind of manually figure everything out. So there are a few errors and things that are going to occur, but I'll rectify all of that when I go into January figures anyway. So most important thing is, once again, thank you for joining me here. Welcome back. And guess what? You know what I'm going to say. Let's get into the numbers. So you're probably wondering to yourself, why is it that I tried to do December and January videos in one? Two simple reasons. Number one, we get paid earlier in December. So I thought it'd just make a little bit more sense because of the number two reason, the Christmas period. It would just make more sense to just do the figures together with December and January. Big mistake, and I won't do that again. And here's why. I forgot to write down the figures for December. So because of that, I didn't have no figures. So when it came to me to work on my notes and to be ready to do this video, I couldn't figure out what I had for December. So what I had to then do was go back through and manually figure everything out. And in doing so, I found out the biggest mistake that I made with using the snowball method, and the mistake that I made, we're going to go into the numbers for December. The mistake that I made with Plata is that, remember, we're doing the debt snowball method. So I'm rolling the previous minimum payment into the current minimum payment, and then obviously the snowball rolls on. So I was meant to add £109.62 to the monthly payment for Plata, which is the next loan, of £224.29. Now I didn't do that because on my financial tracker that I use to track my spending, on that tracker, I wrote down the £333.91 because that's the total of my minimum payment for Plata plus the snowball that we've rolled together, okay? So together it came up to £333.91. And if you didn't know that, it means you haven't seen the previous videos. Make sure you go back and watch them and also subscribe. Quick plug. So in looking at my tracker, so I look at my tracker and I realize on the tracker it says £333.91. So in my mind, I'm just like, yep, £331.91 is going to be coming out in my direct debit. But no, I hadn't adjusted the direct debit. So that meant that the money that came out in December for Plata was £224.29, which brought it down to £283.88. So that means the £109.62 had gone to some other stuff because I assumed that Plata was paid off while looking at my figures, which meant that when I was spending, the extra £109.62 was being used on other stuff. Now, luckily, I weren't crazy because I'm in this mode, as you know. I'm not out there spending on silly things or anything like that. It was just a genuine mistake, and I'm transparent. It's the whole point of me doing this journey. And one thing I like about making mistakes is that it shows you guys mistakes are going to happen along your journey. You're going to have every thing set up and you're going to forget things. The biggest thing is adjusting to the mistake and then making sure that you rectify it. So that brings me to my, great news and just a real happy moment for me. And you'll see it in the next video. But Plata has been finally paid off. Why? Because the payment that I made in January, which was the final payment. So remember the £333.91? Well, because the total payments left to be paid in January was £283.88. Instead of my monthly payment of £224.29, I have now rolled the £333.91 into Plata. And some of you will think, oh, but it's way more than what you've got. Yep, exactly right. So in Plata being cleared off with £283.88, what I then does was rolled over the extra amount into the next debt, which was Virgin Money. But we'll get into that part in a moment. Let's just see what it looked like when I cleared off that Plata loan.
The calls are recorded for training and quality purposes. We endeavour to answer all online accounts, allows you to make a payment, get a settlement figure, and much, much more. Simply log into your...
You're through Sit Down at Plata. How can I help?
Hiya, I'm calling so that I could do two things. One, see if I have a settlement figure, and then number two, just to pay to close the amount. So a big day in my life today.
So the total amount is £283.88.
Yep.
Okay. And you'll be looking to pay that off?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. Let me have a look for you then. Okay. Let me go ahead and take that payment now.
Yep.
It will take up to 48 hours to reflect on your online account, and
Yeah.
it will take up to 8 weeks for the credit reference agencies to reflect it. But that's everything done on our end.
Yeah, perfect.
So you'll receive all the confirmation for that. We'll stop your direct debit. Well, use payment authority now, so there'll be no more payments taken out.
Yeah.
And that's it. Unless you've got any questions for me.
No. Yeah, no. Appreciate that so much, man. It's been a long journey. When did I take the loan out? Do you remember? Is it on the system?
Yeah, so it was the 5th of December 2023.
So literally, almost 2 years? 2 years? Just over 2 years?
2 years.
Just over 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy, man. It's been a journey.
Yeah, well, I'm glad for your sake it's over.
Yeah.
Now you can relax a bit.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. On to the next one. And that, I'm not gonna lie, is like a massive relief. It's crazy. So I'm paying it off on the 22nd. I wish it was the 5th. Imagine if I paid it off on the 5th, that would have been like perfect. So I paid it off on the 22nd of December, which is, like he said, just over 2 years. And with this one, I remember I wanted to take out 4K. For anyone that doesn't know the story, you have to go back to the first video to go through it. But yeah, I took out a 4K loan, but ended up paying in interest probably around £1,500, which is crazy to me when you think about it. But when you're in a situation when you're really, I guess, desperate at that time, you know, to try and fix my situation, not realizing that the discipline that I didn't have was going to make this situation worse. When you're in those scenarios, you just take whatever it is because you think that it's going to be great. But yeah, just to encourage someone as well, like this is another one of my debts that have gone. That's 2 debts now that have gone. And it's just because I switched my focus onto the debt. And again, there's so many teachings I'm going to bring to the table just to kind of help and assist everyone. And just for you to realize what the switch was for me and how everything now and the things that I'm doing that are helping me, you know, escalate or eradicate, should I say, the debt in a much faster time. So yeah, man, let's get back to the video. So let's get into January numbers. In January, I made a mistake with Virgin Money again. And again, I'm never doing 2 months together again, guys. Never. Because when you do 2 months together, it just gets confusing. And if you don't write it down at the time you're meant to, it will just throw you off, especially if you're me. So it threw me off and I made a mistake. Because if you remember, on Plata, there was a leftover amount of £113, 4 pence out of the Snowball. So I rolled that into January's Virgin Money amount, okay? But what happened again, thinking I've paid the £113, 4 pence, I'm like, yeah, I've paid off, I've paid for Virgin Money this month. No, I was meant to have the £100 added onto that as well. So I made a mistake and I'm never doing it like that again. I'm just going to stick to what I know. Okay, guys? What I've said to myself is, okay, the correct Snowball amount, guys, the correct Snowball amount is going to be £433 91 pence. Okay, why? Because if you remember, we had £333.91 for the Snowball, and the minimum payment, because of the fluctuations, I'm just keeping it at £100. If you add that £100 with the £333.91, that gives you £433.91. So, in doing so, that is the correct Snowball figure. Yeah, there'll be no more mistakes. Why? Because I've set up the direct debit for that amount for Virgin Money. And when it rolls over into Capital One, I will do the exact same thing. So I apologize again, guys, for my figures being a little bit all over the place. The mistakes were made. I've rectified those mistakes. Going forward, all right, we're going to be a lot better, a lot stronger. And it's a mistake that happened, but I've learned from the mistake and we move on. All right. So let's move into Capital One. Capital One is £5,233.55. That was what was on the card. I made a payment of £105. All right. Figure changed slightly. So it was £105 that I had to pay. And that brought it down to £5,128.55 in January. Thank the Lord, we are back on track now. All right, guys. I don't want to keep you too long because this video is already long with the other intro and the other video. But I think the biggest lesson for me is never try to do never try to do everything in one. And it kind of gives me a little bit of a lesson. If you think about it, don't try and rush. You may have 10 debts. You may have 5 debts. You may have 3. You may have 2. You may only have 1. Don't rush trying to do everything. Just take your time. I tried to rush, but I tried to put 2 videos into one and it didn't work out. But what I can say from that is I've learned a lesson and I will not now do that going forward. And on this journey, the biggest thing that's going to happen is you're going to make mistakes, you're going to learn from the mistakes, and you're going to know what to do going forward. Ladies and gents, it's myself, Samuel Speaks. Well, this was another video of From Debt to Ownership. I appreciate every single one of you being here. Please, if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. You are here for a reason. Share the videos because you never know who right now is just in need of some inspiration in clearing their own debts. I hope we all have a phenomenal 2026, and I can't wait to see you all again soon. Take care.